how to stay motivated in the gym. Now, in order to stay motivated in the gym, you first have to remember why you started going in the first place. But before you get into it, comment down below right now what keeps you personally motivated in the gym. So, what got you going in the first place? Was it pain that brought you there? Or was it pleasure? Or maybe even some combination of both of those. Now, in almost every single one of my videos, I am either coaching and trying to be helpful or having some fun doing some workouts and challenges. Very rare is it that I open up about myself. A little bit of backstory, some Elijah fitness domain lore, if you will. I was bullied in middle school, and I don't think a lot of people either knew that or realized that at the time or even now. Now, when I was coming up with ideas for this video, I didn't really plan this part, but I feel like maybe if I tell some of you guys, I know someone out there will be able to relate. So when I was in middle school, there was this tech guy that worked there. He just kind of went around all the classrooms, helping out with computer stuff, all this extra stuff. This was probably one of the most stereotypical looking nerds you could even think of. The way he dressed, the way he slouched, the way his hair was cut. He wore glasses. Skinny dude, obviously lacked some sort of self-confidence. You could tell this dude's probably just been pushed around his entire life, and he really just takes crap from whoever wants to dish it out to him. In terms of how he acted, he really reminded me of George McFly from Back to the Future. And I'm not saying all this just to bash on the dude. I'm genuinely trying to give you an idea of how this guy looked and acted, and it helps give you a better image of what then happened. So I always felt really bad for this dude. Even as a 13-year-old, he's always been the beta male, if you will. And I specifically remember this one time in English, I believe, where he walked into the room and the girl sitting next to me said, "That's what you're gonna look like when you're older," and started cracking up. And it doesn't help that this dude was a skinny white guy with blonde hair. I don't really remember if anybody around even heard it or just laughed with her or what, but I do remember what I was feeling at that time. I feel like normally at the time I probably would have given a nervous laugh, like a oh, or like just a fake laugh, even though deep down it really hit. And I just remember looking at that dude and feeling really bad for him. Like, dang man, I don't know how you got here, but it's just I don't want to end up like that. I really don't want to end up like how that guy did, and I genuinely did, and still even do to this day. God knows where he is now, but I genuinely did feel bad for that dude. And when that girl said that to me, especially a girl, like you can mess around with your boys sometimes, especially in middle school, but when a girl says that to you at the age of 13, that's what you're gonna look like when you're older, it really hits you different. And at the time too, when I was in 7th grade, I've been working out calisthenic wise for about a year now, maybe even a little less. So I didn't look really insane. I was still 13 years old, but I just started packing muscle on, but it still obviously wasn't clear enough. But something clicked inside of me where I originally went to the gym or just started working out for sports. I was doing my push-ups at home. I was doing my jump squats at home. I stretched every single day. I was motivated for sports, and because, hey, this feels good and I'm seeing progress, like I like how this looks. I like how this feels. What kept me motivated was that pain. Remembering back to that pain, the laugh of that girl making fun of me. That's what kept me going. That's when I would come home from football practice, have these long practices, and I'd be downstairs or just up in the bathroom even, just doing push-ups and doing crunches and ab workouts and honestly anything I could to prove her wrong. And I could go on and on down a list of everything that's happened, of things related to that, because those things do still motivate me to this day. But those are just some examples of being motivated for a good reason, and then letting that pain carry you through the tougher times when you're not feeling it. I like to preach positivity and being happy and whatnot, but sometimes you have to dig deep and you have to remember that this might not only be to prove others wrong, but you're doing it for yourself as well. Now, that being said, this doesn't have to be what forever motivates you. It is okay to set new goals and have different whys. Your why doesn't have to be, oh, because I was bullied in middle school, blah, 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 for the rest of your life. You could be, wow, okay, I'm with this awesome significant other and I want to be the best version of myself, not only for me, but for them. I want to impress them more than anybody, and so on. If you guys are enjoying the video so far, or if you feel like you've learned something new or found it interesting, be sure to drop a like down below. I really appreciate it, and it'll help grow the channel. Thank you. So when it comes to setting new goals, you want to create a plan to achieve them. In school, I learned this as SMART goals. S standing for specific. So for example, this could be bench, deadlift, or squat, or even maybe I want to get better at takedowns in wrestling, or even catching a football. So specific. I'll use squats for this example. So there we go, the lift. I want to get better at squats. Is it measurable? Meaning, can we put a number to it? Is there a way to measure it? Okay, I want to squat 405. Okay, there's a number that I can work towards. Okay, I want to catch 10 footballs at football practice. There's a number to work towards. Is the goal attainable? So I would say, okay, I'm able to hit reps with weights in the 300s. So I do think it is attainable that I can work my way up to hitting 405. It is not like I'm asking for 500 or even 600. So it is realistic that I can work towards this. Is it relevant? Now, if I am just deadlifting and benching and even just doing leg extension, calf raises, how is that focusing on getting my squat better? Of course, you might be training your legs might be getting stronger in different parts, but that does not directly correlate to getting a stronger and better squat. It's basically specificity, where if you want to train something specific, you got to do that specific thing in order to get the best results from it. And then you got to think about time. Of course, I'm not going to say, okay, 1 week from right now, I want to be able to squat 405. That's not realistic because I haven't built up to that yet. Let's say my top set is 355 for 6 reps. Is there a chance that I could maybe hit 405 for 1? Yes, there's a chance, but you want to be smart about it. You want to be able to build up to it where it pushes yourself, but it's also not too short-term of a goal. So maybe in 2 months, I'll work up to hitting 405. But you don't want it to be, okay, 1 week from now, I'm ready, I'm gonna hit it, I'm gonna hit that goal and get it out the way. It's important to set goals along the way that you can achieve that are little mini goals, because this keeps you feeling like you're constantly making progress. But you want to put something out there that's a little further, a little harder to reach. This way, you have a sense of urgency to actually push for it by keeping a time on it. If you've made it this far in the video, comment motivated down below. And especially if you are newer to the gym or haven't set goals like this before, you might not fully understand your body and you might have to reevaluate how you go about getting towards that goal. For example, if I say, okay, it's 2 months later and I'm still not able to hit 405, I can then reevaluate what I did going there. Maybe I need to take more rest days. I can't just go heavy every single day. I need to throw in maintenance days now. So boom, let's try to go for 405 in a few more weeks. I'll throw in maintenance days, I'll recover more, and I'll focus more on doing more sets of squats and less accessories. And maybe through that planning, the changing of time, the changing of how you go about that programming could make the difference. That being said, let's say you don't want to even hit a specific weight. You're not doing powerlifting or anything. Maybe you could change the mode of training just to stay in shape. So for example, let's say you're just typical weightlifter. You just go to the gym, lift weights, you're into that. Maybe you could get into something like calisthenics or wrestling and jiu-jitsu. Something that's kind of out of your scope, but still athletic. This way you're still getting some sort of exercise in, but you're not specifically just pushing weights. And if you still do want to keep pushing those weights, just try out different exercises, different machines, different compound lifts. There's so many different things you could do in a gym. Start using bands. Anything that you can do to switch things up from that monotonous routine will help. Another great way to stay motivated is by bringing a friend to the gym. Now, not only is this more fun for you and for your friend, but you guys hold each other accountable also. If they want to go to the gym and you're like, oh man, I'm not feeling it. It's like, no dude, we're going. And you're like, ah yeah, you're right, like let's go. You hold each other accountable, and when you're working out with your friend, you can go hard, you guys enjoy it more. You see, you can have some friendly competition with it. You see, they're pushing really hard. Oh, I hit this for 5 reps. Oh, I want to hit this for 5 reps now, you know. That being said, be smart with your weights and know your limits. And let's say you're kind of that black sheep where none of your friends really train or go to the gym. Go to the gym by yourself for a little bit. Maybe try to meet someone at the gym around your size and talk to them. Get to know them and ask them like, hey, you want to hit this workout together? I think you'd be surprised more often than not. You'll probably get people saying yes as opposed to no. I know it can be scary going up to people that you've never met before, but have a conversation or two, maybe give it a few weeks where you're kind of getting to know them first and they're getting to know you, and then ask them, hey, do you want to hit legs on Wednesday or whatever? Now this last one is probably my favorite and quite possibly the most effective way of staying motivated in the gym. Take time off. Let yourself kick back, stay at home, eat whatever you want, and essentially not only give yourself a break, but possibly even let your physique start to backtrack a little bit. For someone like myself, this is really hard to do, and I know a lot of people that like to go really hard in the gym struggle with this as well, but you might find that taking this time off not only lets your body recover, but you tend to realize how hungry you get. By taking something away from yourself, you tend to want it more. I think that's just human nature, where it's like, don't do this. Oh, well, now I want to do it. After you let your body recover or take care of whatever other stresses you are worried about, you might start to realize, oh, dang, I really want to get back into this. I really want to start pushing these heavy weights again, or I really want to be able to do 10 full pull-ups with perfect form. Anything that you could set your mind to, set your goals to, you really start to want it more when you kind of put it on hold or take it away from yourself. And if you have made it this far in the video, maybe consider dropping a like and a sub. And if you want to see me swap diets with my girlfriend for 24 hours, click on the video right here.